What's up guys, it is your boy Steady Chaos, and today I want to make a very brief video talking about the new firmware update for the LG C1. Now if you hold down the gear button on your remote, I just got this firmware update over the airwaves through my TV yesterday afternoon. I am in the Northeast United States region, so it's possible that in other regions this update is not quite available to you yet. So just to show you, I'm on the new firmware. If you come down to software update, you see here it's 03.20.16. I tried Googling this firmware update and I didn't really get much information. But if you go to LG Korea, because curiously enough, the 03.20.16 firmware update is not on LG North America, it's just strange. But here I am, LG Korea in Google. I've translated the page. If you come to customer support, drivers and software, yep. So I have the OLED 48C1. So I just search for that. There's like a little search bar here. You type in your TV's model number and you'll see here 9/29/21. That's the most recent firmware update for the LG C1. So if it's 9/29, here we are today on what? Today's October 12th. So it's possible that this update was on the website since 9/29 for manual download, but only recently has it started going out over the airwaves to certain regions of the globe. So if you click on this firmware update, you can get the patch notes. So does it say the size? The firmware update is 1.29 gigabytes or 1,292 megabytes. So you click here, and you'll see, let's see, we share the final software of LG OLED released in 2021. The final, I don't know if that's a translation error or if this is literally the final software update for LG OLED. They don't specify the model number. I would ignore that. So it's C1 here and G1, and I highly doubt this is the final software update, so we'll just ignore that. But here it says 3 changes. Improvement of minor issues related to software. So basically, with every successive firmware update for your LG C10 or C1, it's cumulative, meaning prior firmware updates like 03.11.15, if for whatever reason you didn't have an internet connection, you never downloaded them or manually installed them, then the 03.20.16 new firmware update that just came out recently will have all of the improvements from the prior firmware rolled in as well. Improvement of minor issues related to software. Now here it is, improvement of minor issues related to software 03.20.16. Now, I've noticed with 03.20.16 that it made one other minor change, and maybe this was 03.20.12. I don't know. I just noticed it today after I did the update, and I would have thought if it was this update 03.20.12, which came out weeks ago, that I would have noticed it then. So that's why I'm thinking this improvement is 03.20.16. So if you hold down the gear button on your remote again, and you go to, I believe it's support, and you see now it's OLED Care. It never used to say this. So in the entire menu system here of all these options, this is the only thing I've noticed that's changed. It says OLED Care. So Care Picture Settings. So set the picture mode that suits your viewing patterns. If this feature is in use, Picture Select Mode feature will be unavailable. So it's like instead of coming to picture and selected from one of these preset modes, which are a little bit more specific and defined, now you can get something that's even easier to use in terms of picture presets. You click on this, and it has comfort mode, theater mode, and kids care mode. That is definitely new. So if you click on the question mark to expand on what this means, it sets the screen mode suitable for your viewing pattern. So picture select mode cannot be set while using care picture settings. Okay, yeah, so comfort mode displays the picture with normal contrast, brightness, and sharpness levels. Theater mode, suitable picture for movies. So presumably a slightly warmer color temperature, closer to the D65 white point for accuracy. And then kids care mode, it adjusts the blue light to make the screen easier for children to view. So that's kind of interesting, I guess. Let's try turning them on right now. Comfort mode. I didn't notice any difference. Theater mode. I didn't notice any difference. Kids care mode. I didn't notice any difference. Oh, so look. See, if I go to picture now, it's in OLED Care, Kids Care mode. So it did make a change. I didn't notice anything on the screen. That's interesting. So let's just go back to off. And so there are other changes here within this OLED care area. So device self-care. Memory optimizer. This function optimizes TV status by deleting unused apps or unnecessary memories. So click on this and we hit start. I've never run this before. Let's see what happens. I'm sure I have some apps that I don't regularly use. It's already done. That took 3 seconds. So I don't know if that saved me any space or not, but at least I know my LG C1's memory is optimized. Wonderful. Screen self-diagnosis, that's always been there. Now it's just under device self-care submenu. Sound self-diagnosis, that might be a new one. Check if TV speakers are working properly. And then energy saving. This is not new, but it's been changed. It's been put under device self-care. Energy saving was under a different submenu prior. So we go back. Now OLED panel care. Set various features to keep the OLED panel to be in its best condition. Again, this has been moved or changed or rearranged in this new OLED care submenu. So pixel cleaning, this is what we normally have had prior. You don't want to run this manually if you don't have to. This is the typical pixel refresh for LG OLEDs, otherwise known as panel refresh for Sony OLEDs, so that's nothing new. Screen move, that's nothing new. I have it on. Adjust logo brightness, that's nothing new. You can do off, low, or high. But what is new is care recommendations. So it recommends picture settings suitable for eye strain or viewing environment by analyzing viewing patterns. So if you are always blaring out your TV, or if you're watching a lot of static content, then maybe the set would be more inclined to engage screen move and adjust logo brightness to high. If you're watching a lot of moving content, a lot of movies, there's not a lot of static HUDs or imagery, you don't play a lot of games, maybe screen move is off and logo brightness is only on low or off entirely. So let's try care recommendations. It didn't change anything. OLED panel care, everything is still engaged. I'm just going to turn that off. So anyway, that's the only new thing I've noticed since this new 03.20.16 update that came to me yesterday. Again, in the Northeast United States, you may not have gotten it yet, but you can get it here on the LG Korea website. Like I said, you can just, it's right here, 03.20.16. You can download now, and then you can unzip it onto your computer, and then take the unzipped file, put it on a USB stick, and then plug that into your LG C1 or G1, and then the TV will recognize the software and do an auto update that way. So anyway, guys, that's just going to be a quick video. As I said, that's it for me. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. Please subscribe to the channel if you can, and I will see you guys later with more LG OLED content. Peace.